Back when I was still doing private tutoring, before I had my tutoring membership available, um, I had to charge $75 an hour because it takes a lot more time to tutor than you would think. It's not just I show up for an hour or two with students. Takes a lot of prep work. I do assessments on my students to kind of get a feel for what's going on. I sometimes have to review myself if it's been a while since I've reviewed a topic. And often I'm preparing materials that the student can use to supplement their own studies and help guide them. So I used to charge $75 per hour, which not all nursing students can afford. And so I would often get nursing students who were very desperate and had tried everything and exhausted all of their other options and didn't know where else to turn. And one of these students that I had early on in my tutoring career, I'll just call her M for now, she had failed NCLEX 2 times. And the sad thing is that she had been a pretty good student in her classes. She had gotten, the A's and the B's and gotten through all of her courses. And it wasn't until NCLEX that she realized something was wrong, that the information wasn't sticking. So she came to me pretty devastated, lots of test anxiety, still not feeling confident with dosage calculations, and not knowing what to do next to pass NCLEX so that she could reach her dream of becoming a nurse. So what I did with her is we worked on each of these pieces individually. Dosage calculations should be free points when you see them. You should be so confident that they should be like easy. You should be excited to see them on test. So I trained her up in dosage calculations, teaching her my method for how to solve them easily. Test anxiety. Obviously, when you've failed twice, test anxiety is going to be an issue. And it's usually an issue even before you fail twice. And it really clouds what you know. So you may know something, but because of your test anxiety, it just gets in the way. And then your test score is not an accurate representation of what's truly in your head. So I have a test anxiety technique that I worked with her on to help reduce her test anxiety based on my previous experience in clinical psychology. I have my master's degree in clinical psychology. And so I studied cognitive behavioral therapy, and I adapted a technique for test anxiety that was based on that. So once we had those things cleared out of the way, we just had to focus on how she was understanding the information and putting it together so that it made sense and that she could apply it to NCLEX. And after working with her for a few months, it was time for her to retake NCLEX, and she passed. We were both so excited for her. And for me, I can't say that tutoring is just a job, because I know that what I do means a lot to my students, but sometimes that's easy for me to forget. And so one day when I went outside, opened up my mailbox, and I found this big envelope from a gourmet spice company. And I opened up and I found 6 gourmet spices and a thank you note from M. She knew that I liked to cook, probably because we were talking about dosage calculations and how memorizing a lot of the conversions for dosage calculations can also help you in your cooking, teaspoons to tablespoons and milliliters and things like that. And so she went out of her way, in addition to my fee that I had been charging her, and sent me these special spices. And I can tell you, every single time I cooked with those for the following months, I thought about her. And she has gone on to be a successful nurse. I'm still in touch with her. She's doing wonderfully. And it means so much to me to help train the next generation of nurses, because you can be a successful nurse too. You are already deep down. You just need to get the credentialing to prove it and the knowledge to prove it and to train your brain how to think like a nurse. And you can do that too. So if you would like some more help doing that. I have a VIP tutoring membership now so that I don't have to charge $75 per hour anymore, but I can still provide you just the same amount of training so that you can stop being spoon fed or relying on being spoon fed the information from your professor, from YouTube videos, even from me as a tutor or other tutors you might work with, and start to learn how to study the information in a way that will automatically train your brain to think like a nurse. So if that sounds good to you, then come and visit me at yournursingtutor.com/VIP to get more information.